This is Fantasy Football Picks and Bets on the Mayo Media Network, presented by PrizePicks. Get a deposit match of up to $100 on your first deposit with code MMN at PrizePicks.com. It's a free $100. Do you not want a free $100? Well, just hit the link down in the description of the pod or the video, and you can do that. Smash a like and sub to the channel while you're here as well. We're going to start with the props for the week and then into the injury report. If you want the full updated injury report, the link is down in the description. The free Mayo Media newsletter is down there to join, and that will have the cheat sheets to all the rankings, all of the shows, anything that you have missed throughout the course of the week will be in that newsletter coming out on Saturday evening, and then I'll update it again until kickoff if you just save the link. But you get that sent to you right away by joining down in the description. I'm a bit off my game today. Woke up, tested positive for COVID, got a giant headache, real foggy, but hey, maybe it's going to mean better picks for us. Let's get to it. PrizePicks.com. Check it out right now. I got two that I really like this week. It's kind of weird because, I have two that I like every single week. But two in particular that I really like. We're going to NFL. We're going to go to rushing yards to start off with. And we're going to go to my guy, Cooper Rush, under 4.5 rushing yards, less than 4.5 rushing yards. The simulations at Run the Sims, weirdly enough, if we go to the PrizePicks tool, or even if you try to simulate the entire slate 10,000 times, it's going to come out to over. I just went and looked. Whoa, COVID. Went and looked at his game logs. He hit this last week, actually, but this just seems like he's going to hit this around like a 75% clip. So just bet it every week. You're going to end up walking away with money. Hopefully this is the week that we can pair up something to go with him. You can see from runthesims.com right now, and there's a ton of tools up here. Runthesims.com/Mayo to get yourself 10% off. If you want to give it an old test drive. You can always just go into the DIY simulator, pick the entire slate of the week, and you can just simulate all of the games. If someone gets launched at the last minute, you can go plug them in pretty easily. It'll help you with DraftKings and everything, but the projections themselves are pretty good. I really looked at Cooper Kupp over this week as well. I had a lot of success a week ago over Derrick Henry, over Justin Jefferson, over Cooper Kupp, solely because it just feels like it's too low still. On PrizePicks, it's either 94 or 93.5 for Kupp in terms of receiving yards. Let's see. Cooper Kupp. 2 Coopers, 1 Kupp. What's your receiving prop? Yeah, 94.5. So I think that I assume that the baseline projection has been 118. That's not even close. So if you just want to continue riding these Cooper Kupp overs, I think he's hit it 18 of the past 20 games overall, dating back to last year. They only have one play. I guess they have 2 plays. Pass it to Kupp, pass it to Higbee. And I still live under the suspicion that Matt Stafford actually thinks that when he's throwing to Tyler Higbee, that it is Cooper Kupp. He just gets confused momentarily and throws it out there. So we can go over on that. I'll probably play a 3-play with it. But the other one that I like is actually from the tool. You have a lot of overs here. Breece Hall over 16.5 receiving yards. I like a lot. I like that one independently, and here we are. It loves unders. Under pass attempts for Justin Fields. Under Alvin Kamara rushing attempts. It looks like he is going to play, so that's good news. He has to play in order for it to qualify. I love this one. Less than 17.5 Kenny Pickett rushing yards. Maybe we can make a 5-play when we're all done with this as well. It's just, I think that he gets a lot of credit now for what we saw a week ago, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He ran the ball so much, but when you really take a look at it, take a look at his college numbers, he's not the biggest runner there ever was. 2.5 yards a carry, mainly sneaks, big body stuff, and that's fine in terms of rushing yards. He can do that. He can pick up 10 on the ground for all he wants. Inside the red zone, not giving the ball to Najee, whatever. But it's not like they're running RPOs and designed run plays for him. He came in the second half, his first ever start, stuff broke down, and he had to go take off a little bit. So I really like the under on the 18.5. So I like the under Rush, 4.5, under Pickett, 18.5. And then if we kind of jump back over, you can see the Curtis Samuel fantasy score, 10. Yes, it does look like Brian Robinson is going to be back, but that's okay. I can handle Brian Robinson being back. That's only going to take stuff away from Antonio Gibson, and probably not so much this week. They said they has a cap of around 20 snaps. And no Dotson, McLaurin reeks, Logan Thomas is banged up. With Robinson back, you probably get less McKissick on the field, so let's roll this one out here. 150 pays 450. Cooper Rush, less than 4.5 rushing yards. Curtis Samuel, over 10 fantasy points. That is full point PPR. Let's chuck that in. And I played that. I played that one yesterday, so I'd remember for $5. I had a 5-play as well. You can see Curtis Samuel, more than 10. Breece Hall, more than 16.5 receiving yards. Rondell Moore, more than 8, although AJ Green might be back now. Debo, more than 20. And Jamal Williams, 55.5. Every Friday on PrizePicks, they've been offering up this 15x payout. Normally, the 5 play is if you get 5 of 5 right, it's 10 times your money. 4 of 5 is 2 times your money. And then you get like a little bit of back if you go 3 of 5. But every Friday for the past 2 weeks, they've been offering, and I haven't seen a limit on it so far. I'm only playing $50 a pop here, but they're offering 15 times your money. You should really try to take advantage of the little edges like that. That's why taking advantage of the deposit bonus is so huge. It's a free $100. You're getting an extra 50% on your payout just by playing it on Friday afternoon and not Wednesday afternoon. So these little advantages are really huge. I do want to play that 5 one that I just talked about, though. Let's go play that right now. So Cooper Rush, we got Samuel over, right? We said that one, Samuel over 10 fantasy points, more than 10 fantasy points. Sorry. Rushing yards, Cooper Rush, less than 4.5. Pickett, less than 17.5. Breece Hall, more receiving yards is what we're going to go with. Breece Hall, more than 16.5 receiving yards against the Dolphins. Actually, that looks pretty good. We can go, let's see here, 10 times? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go $33, pays 300, and we can go more than that. Let's go $45. 45 pays 450 if we sweep the board on this one. Really hope Curtis Samuel comes through for me, because that is going to be very important for me this week. Let's get to the injuries. At running back, I mentioned that it does look like Brian Robinson is going to play. So he is likely in this game. I've updated the rankings on DKNation.com down in the description as well. Basically, they say he's probably going to be capped at 20 snaps in this game. That could be true. That could be false. Either way, it just kind of hurts Antonio Gibson. I bumped him down from 19 to like 29 in the running back rankings, and we'll see how it ends up turning out. It's just like the David Montgomery situation. He got in 2 limited practices Thursday and Friday, and it looks like that he is going to play now. So, like, what do we do with that? So, I initially did not have him in the rankings, and I had Khalil Herbert in at number 9, I believe it was. But if Montgomery's playing, you can't just be like, oh, lock play Khalil Herbert. That's not really how it works now, is it? So, where did I end up putting him? I have Herbert above Montgomery still because, he's not hurt. Montgomery is somewhat hurt. I could be wrong about that, by the way. If I had to pick one this week, it would be Khalil Herbert. 23 and Montgomery at number 37 rushing touchdowns, given up by the Minnesota Vikings through 4 weeks so far. So there's a possibility that both of them do really well in this game, especially because they're going to want to run as much as possible. Jonathan Taylor missed week 5, obviously on Thursday night. Naheem Hines got hurt in that game as well. DeAndre Swift is out for this week. The Lions are on bye next week, so he should be fine for week 7. Coming out of that, Alvin Kamara is likely in. Brian Robinson, as mentioned, likely in. Not sure about Boston Scott as of this recording. Like Miles Sanders a whole lot more if there's no Boston Scott. Javonte Williams is out for the season, obviously. Gus Edwards has been designated to return. Probably not going to play this week, although Justice Hill is out, so we might get some Kenyon Drake here. And Cordero Patterson is out. Tower Algier and Brett Huntley. Is that his name? Brett Huntley? Something. Caleb Huntley. Brett Huntley's the backup quarterback, isn't he? Yeah. Kareem Hunt. Caleb Huntley. He looked real quick. I liked him last week. He was fun to watch. Wide receivers. Dotson is out for the Commandos. Jamison, sorry, I don't have all the breath in the world here. Jamison Crowder, ankle injury, out for the Bills. Chenault is likely out. Golladay, Wendell Robinson, and Kadarius Toney all out for the London game. You should see this list of scrubs the Giants are running out at receiver. It's pretty hilarious. Treylon Burks is probably out for a few weeks. Michael Thomas is out. DJ Chark is out. Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable. I don't think that he's going to play against New England, but he's still questionable, so he hasn't been officially ruled out. Again, with that bye week next week, that only makes a lot of sense. Rashad Bateman is out, so fire up some Devin Duvernay. They picked up Andy Isabella this week as well. Maybe get some Isaiah Likely in the mix. Kumaro out for the Bills. AJ Green now looks like he's going to play. Quintus Cephas is out for the Lions too. Keenan Allen is out, so more Mike Williams. Josh Palmer is questionable. He'll probably end up going. Makes the DraftKings stacks for Herbert, Williams, and Gerald Everett pretty easy to do, to tell you the truth. You can bring it back with Chubb and Cooper and Njoku, Chubb and Njoku. If you don't use Everett and use Josh Palmer, a lot of different combos you can go for in that game. You should check out the PME with Tambo and myself on Friday, where we talked through a lot of these scenarios. Isaiah McKenzie, AJ Green, and Hunter Renfrow are all likely to play this week. Amon-Ra is, I would say, leaning more towards out than in, but obviously that's just a guess from me. Lamb, Tyreek, Gage, Deontay Johnson, Jacoby Myers, Zay Jones. Of that group, I say they all play except for maybe Jacoby Myers. That would be my hot take on the situation. Then of the rest, we got some tight ends that are out. Kyle Pitts, obviously, is out. Have that guy that the simulator loves every single week. Now, he's so bad, I can't even remember his name. But the simulator always likes him for like over one catch every single week. What the hell is his name? Atlanta. No, it's not. Philippe Franks. It's not. I didn't realize Ferkser was on Atlanta. It's this guy, Parker Hess. Yeah, 1.7 catches, 2.8 targets, 18 yards. His numbers are always way down. I wonder if he's on PrizePicks this week. He has been in the past. I'm like, why is this guy on there? There must be something about their simulations that really love him. And then all of a sudden he just ends up with one catch for like 22 yards. And that's the end of it now. We're not getting any lines on him until at least Sunday morning, if that's the way that we're going to go through with it. So we have Pitts, Brevin Jordan, fire up some O.J. Howard. Cameron Brate is out with his concussion. And Jonnu Smith is likely out for the Patriots. So Hunter Henry, who's the other goober on the Bucks? There's the one guy. My brain is absolutely scrambled this morning. Let's see here. Where are we at? Tampa Bay. You're playing Atlanta. I'm probably on the game and just don't realize it at this point. There we go. Tampa, how do we have the distribution at Tampa tight end? Parker, no, that's Atlanta. Cade Otton at 10.4%. Kokieft is also in there as well. Kyle Rudolph may return this week. Obviously, Braid is out. So Cade Otton would be the one to place. $2,500 on DraftKings. What are his projections? I actually put him out as. See if he's like viable or if he's just like a jag. Cade Otton, he's right behind O.J. Howard and Jordan Atkins. 2.5 catches, 4 targets, 25 yards, fifth of a touchdown. 6.6 fantasy points is a medium projection. Isn't horrible. Like, that's better than Bob Tunyon and Hunter Henry and Harrison Bryant and Noah Fant. So if you're in need and you need someone to go pick up, that could be the move. Hoyer is out. Mac Jones is likely out. Bailey Zappi is going to get the start anyway. Teddy B is starting for the Dolphins. Nat Tua Daniel Jones is in for the London game. Jameis Winston is likely out. But even if he's active, Dalton is starting either way. No Michael Thomas in that game. Marquez Callaway, I do think, becomes somewhat interesting. Maybe more from a DraftKings or player prop perspective, but they do like to look for him downfield. Even against the Vikings last week, they were looking for him far more than they were looking for Jarvis Landry, which I thought was really strange. He's 3,300 on DraftKings this week as well. And now with Thomas out, people will play a ton of Olave, and not to say don't play Olave, but $3,300 for Callaway is pretty good, right? Anyway, PrizePicks.com, code MMN. Get yourself a $100 deposit match. Hit the description, get the link right away. Sub to the podcast, sub to the channel, and smash the like. On the way out, everything else that you need is down in the description, all completely free except for runthesims.com, but use /Mayo and get yourself 10% off. Manipulate the tools any way you want, okay? I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.